Up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back, and today it's just going to be me doing the MLB power rankings here for Week 7. The top 10 is changing a little bit with some teams moving up, a few moving down, kind of staying the same in the middle of the pack. Bottom, well, we know the Reds are coming in last, that's for sure. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Get us to 500. We're going to be doing that huge giveaway, more autographed items on deck. Get us to 1,000 followers on Twitter. That could also be another giveaway as well. So stay tuned for that. So let's get into the video here. Coming in at 30th, like I said, we got the Cincinnati Reds. They did go 3-2 this week, so that's progress. You know, they're getting up there, but they're bottom 5 in hitting, last in all the pitching categories, and they got nothing going for them except Hunter Green. India, he's still in the IL. Hopefully he can get off soon, but this is a team that has, you know, a lot of rebuilding to go. 29th, the Nationals also are in the same boat, but the big question for the Nationals this year is, will Juan Soto be traded? Are they going to pay him a ton of money, or are they going to, you know, trade him away in a huge package deal and try to reboot this team quick? That's the question that's been floating around a little bit. But we're going to have to see that as the season goes on. Obviously, come July, that's going to be a hot topic for sure. But I think the thing that stands out most to me is the Nationals are 2-9-1 in series this year. And if you can barely win a series in a 3-game series, it's going to be a long year for you. 28th, we got the Kansas City Royals, and they got off to that hot start, but now they're slowly fading back. 2-6 last week, bottom 5 in almost every stat. Bobby Witt Jr. is playing; he's doing decent. They need Salvi back, coming off the IL soon, hopefully. And Andrew Benintendi has been a surprise candidate. You know, the Royals finally got what they thought they were getting in that Boston trade. 27th, we got my Tigers, and man, I'm gonna just keep living this injury bug hitting them hard, still up every week, because now Erod is on the IL. I mean, Will Vest got placed in the COVID IL. Scooble took one off the shin. He's gonna be starting this week, luckily. This team just had so much promise at the beginning of the year. I mean, I had them at 16th, and now here they are on 27th, slowly making their way back up. But hopefully the pitching is consistent the whole year. Hitting, they'll find it eventually. I mean, we've seen some strides lately, but we're gonna have to see if this Tigers team can turn it around quickly before the All-Star break. 26th, we've got the Oakland A's, 2-6 in their last 8 as well. Bottom 5 hitting, and the rotation is getting no help. The rotation is, you know, doing pretty good this year. Montas has been great. Paul Blackburn, Cole Irvin, some names you guys probably don't know of that are doing pretty good. But this Oakland A's team, you know, with the attendance of probably 3,000 a game, they got nothing riding it. It's going to be a few years, long few years. And it's crazy to think that just last year that they were going all in to win it all, didn't make the playoffs. And here they are with absolutely nothing. Almost half that team is gone. 25th, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates, bottom 5 team as well on every stat. That's hence why they're down here. But Jose Quintana has been a solid signing, 1-year deal. Expect him to get dealt at the deadline for some prospects. With that 2.43 ERA. And I think that's going to be great for the Pirates. You know, that's why a lot of these veteran guys go to these teams, get their starts, and hopefully can go to contender. And it's a win-win for both sides. 24th, we got the Cubs staying pat here. They're very inconsistent, and that's why I think the Cubs were kind of a flaky team coming in the year. They had no expectations. No one knew what they were going to do. And signing Seiya Suzuki was a huge signing for them. He's going to be very good for a long time. Stroman, he's been on the IL. He's been up and down. Ian Happ, though, has been pretty consistent, which is kind of surprising, hitting 276 right now before tonight's games on Monday. And Keegan Thompson is a name that, honestly, I don't even know a lot of Cubs fans know of. He has a 1.54 ERA and 35 innings pitched. He's been a surprise, great piece in the rotation so far this year. 23rd, we got the Baltimore Orioles moving up 3. Look at them go. They re-signed Means today for 2 more years, even though, you know, he's got Tommy John, and who knows how long that's going to take him. But Trey Mancini is a name, you know, we were talking about last year early when he had, you know, he got back from cancer and everything he went through, and now he's here hitting almost 300 right now through, you know, 2 months of ball. He's having a great year. Cedric Mullins needs to pick it up a little bit, but this Orioles team is actually doing better than I thought they would be. And I know they're 8 games below 500, but compared to last year's team, this team is looking a lot better. 22, we got the Cleveland Guardians falling a little bit here. They're starting to struggle, kind of fall off. They were, you know, almost 3 games above 500. It seems like beginning of the year for the whole year. Now they're 3 games below 500. So something's up here. But the rotation isn't to blame. They've been pretty solid. Cal Quantrill, Tris McKenzie, as you can see there, his stats. Shane Bieber, as always. What's his name? Zach Gown? No. What? Zach Plesac. There it is. Zach Plesac. He's been good too. Aaron Cheval. He's been good. He's been the Tiger killer. And now it's just the pen and hitting is where the Guardians, struggle, and that's why they're down here at 22. 21, we got the Seattle Mariners taking a big step back. They're 1-5 last week. Ty France has really been the only positive story so far, hitting 325, 28 RBIs. And, they were kind of on some expectations this year of, can they be that team, this weekend wild card, maybe even win that AL West early on. It looks like they could. But this is what the Mariners do every year. They start out hot and just slowly fade away. To their credit, they do have Kyle Lewis playing good. JP Crawford's playing pretty solid. Jared Kelenic, who knows what's going on there. And Robbie Ray, he needs to, stop giving up so many runs. But other than that, I think this Mariners team, could shock some people, still pull it off. It's way too early to tell. In 20th, we have another team in the AL West, and Texas Rangers. And somehow, some way, this Rangers team is coming back into it. I thought they wouldn't, when they were down, they were going to be down. But they're 5-3 in their last 8, and you can tell they're starting to gel as a team. And they don't even have, their $250 million man playing good. He's hitting 182, no home runs, and 154 at bats. I mean, that's when it gets bad, when it's only May and your at bats are catching up to your average. That is not a good thing. 19th, we got the Marlins. I was at the game yesterday where Sandy Alcantara threw a complete game gem, 0 earned runs, 7 Ks versus Braves. And he looked dominant throughout the whole game. Gave up a few hits, gave up a few runs in the 9th inning, but those were unearned after, drop foul ball by Aguilar. I mean, just bad luck for him. Drop fly ball in center in the other inning, which gave up a run. Bad luck, but he still got it done, and a heck of a performance from him. And he could be a dark horse candidate as the Cy Young as well as the season progresses. But an interesting stat, what I found is the Marlins have played in 24 games of 2 runs or closer in the final score. They're 10-14, and I think, they need to flip that and be 14-10 if this team really wants to compete and earn that 6th and new playoff spot this year. 18th, we got another NL East team, the Phillies. They went 5-5 against the Dodgers and Padres in their last 10. Very good. It could be a lot worse. Let's just say that right now. And the NL is helping Bryce Harper because of the new DH rule. I think they would say he would have been out 2-3 months, and with his arm and can't throw. But hitting wise, he's fine. Hitting 295, 9 home runs, 27 RBIs. He made his first appearance back yesterday. He took a 5-game absence, but he's back, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And another NL East team at 17, we got the Braves, who just got complete gamed obviously yesterday because they played the Marlins. Acuna, he's coming back off that ACL gruesome injury last year. He's doing pretty good. He's hitting 298 and 57 at bats. Saw him absolutely smoke a few balls yesterday. One almost was gone. One was caught at the warning track. So he's getting there. He's really close. But this pitching staff has been mediocre, and it's kind of surprising on what we saw last year from the Braves. I know they lost a few guys, injuries and just whatnot, but Kyle Wright, he's been doing good. He stepped up. And this Braves team, we saw it last year, kind of float around 500 and then close it out at the end of the year. And I can honestly see a similar performance from them as well. 16th, we got the Boston Red Sox, 6-1 last week. I mean, these Sox are on a 5-game win streak. They're coming here. They're coming on hot here in the AL East, with a very competitive division. And they're on the backs of Rafael Devers and JD Martinez. Those two combined are hitting 342, 14 home runs, 44 RBIs. And Trevor Story, after his 3 home run game, can he take that as some motivation, keep it up, and build off of that? That's going to be the big question moving forward. 15th, we got the Colorado Rockies, 3-10 in their last 13. Last place in the NL West, which is crazy to me because they're a top half team in MLB here, and they're last in their division. How does that make sense? That's just how good the NL West is this year. And you can thank that to CJ Cron's huge year, hitting 329 right now, 11 home runs, 32 RBIs. And I mean, he's going to probably get dealt at the deadline. Let's be honest here. The Rockies are probably going to fall off, but you never know. It is baseball. That's why they play every game. And if he does get dealt, expect him to go to a contender, looking for a power bat. And now with the DH rule, he can go almost anywhere. 14th, we got another surprise team here in the Arizona Diamondbacks. And as you see, we had them in the preseason 28th. They've, cut that in half, moving to 14 here, their highest ranking to date. But they're 3-7 in their last 10, which is crazy. If they go 5-5, obviously they're 23-20, and there might be even a little higher. What amazes me most about this team is they're a bottom 10 team in almost every stat category, and they're still winning games here, floating around 500. If they can keep that up, figure out how to become efficient in, a few categories here, I think that's only going to help them for the better, especially record-wise. 13th, we got the White Sox at 21-20, the other way around. And they took 2 from the Yankees in the Bronx. Sunday Night Baseball, that was a great game. Tim Anderson, really came out the 8th inning. They got to the pen as Severino, was dealing against the Sox and then immediately took it to the pen. Tim Anderson, speaking of him, he's hitting 359, slugging 517. But this White Sox team, when they win, it's a low-scoring affair. They're bottom 5 team in runs, on base, and slugging. So when they get guys on, it seems like they just have to score them, and that just seems like what they've been doing. 12th, we got the Blue Jays staying pat here. The bats are starting to wake up a little bit as Bo Bichette hit 2 home runs in a game. Vladdy's, doing his thing. And, I don't know. It seems like when they lost Simeon, it kind of helped them with Theo taking over at second. But the pitching has been top 10 all year. Alek Manoah went 8 strong, got the win. I really like him. I'm telling you, he's a dark horse candidate for a Cy Young as well. Barrios, he's starting to pick it up, and this Blue Jays team could finally be living up to those expectations here soon. 11th, we got the Cardinals, and yet again, we have another position player pitching for them in a great way. Yadier Molina last night going in when they were up 18-0. Gave up 4 earned, but who cares? He got the 3 outs. They won. And I think this Cardinals team could give the Brewers a run for their money for that division crown. I mean, it's definitely between those two for the division because, the Cubs, they're more than likely already out of it. Pirates, they're almost out of it. And the Reds, obviously, they're definitely out of it. So these 2 teams are going to be fighting for that NL Central championship. And starting our top 10 here, we got the Giants moving down 1. They're on a 4-game losing streak, so we had to move them down here. Still 4 games above 500, which is great. But, when you're losing 4 in a row, that's never a good thing. And I think moving forward, they're going to have to be dealing for a starting pitcher. It's never too early to look at the trade deadline. Starting pitcher is what they need. They did lose a lot last offseason. Logan Webb and Carlos Rendon, they've been doing okay. But after that, this pitching staff has been nowhere to be found. 9th, we got the Rays moving down 1 as well. Nothing too wrong, but just the team that jumped them has just been playing a little better. Randy's waking up, had a 2 home run game. And hopefully he can take that and ride that momentum, get his average up a little bit as well. And, of course, the Rays pitching has been dominant. 3.39 ERA, 6th best in the MLB. And the bullpen, has been the bullpen. Everyone knows the Rays for having one of the best bullpens in baseball, and still to this day it is. 8th, taking a huge drop down, are the Los Angeles Angels. And that is in part of, them getting swept by the Rangers. Lost 3 games to them. And that's some concern, in my opinion, there. The Rangers aren't, a mediocre team. They're okay, but kind of puzzling, how good the Angels have been playing and how poorly the Rangers have been playing. But we got to talk about Mike Trout here. 323 average, 12 home runs, 26 RBIs. Could the Angels, have back-to-back MVPs on the same team? I don't know. Has that ever been done? Let me know down below. But I feel like that has never happened before. 2 players on the same team went in different years, back-to-back years. That's crazy to me. It could happen. On the pace Trout is, he's on pace for 50 home runs, I believe, something like that. And he's definitely going to do it, I think. 7th, we got the Brewers moving down 1 as well. Freddie Peralta is going to IL, and that's going to hurt their rotation moving forward a little bit. But they've had some stars like Eric Lauer step it up for him. 2.16 ERA, 54 Ks. And what's holding this team's back is having a star hitter. Yelich, he's been meh. Ever since he had his MVP season, he's kind of went downhill. And I'm not calling him washed or anything, but he just, needs to figure some things out and get back to that star potential. But I would not be surprised here if they bring in a bat from a contending or from a non-contending team at the trade deadline. that could really solidify that lineup. Sixth, here they are. We got the Minnesota Twins that have been jumping these teams here. 7-2 in their last 9, 22-8 in their last 30. And you can thank that to Joe Ryan, who has been a really good rookie this year. 2.28 ERA, 42 Ks. I don't know. There's something about this Twins team. Yes, I know they're in the easiest division. My Tigers are in the AL Central. But you still got to go out, play 9 innings, and win all these games. And they're doing it right now. They are playing the Tigers tonight, so hopefully we put some losses on the Twins here. But we're going to have to check back next week to find out. Starting our top 5, we got the Padres moving in. They've been really good. 27-14. This is kind of how they were last season. Had a really good record going in the All-Star break, and then they kind of just fell off a cliff there. Hopefully they don't do it this year. I kind of want to see the Padres, Dodgers in the playoffs. If that were to happen, that'd be cool. But right now, as things are looking, that is definitely a possibility. And Mike Clevenger on the IL as precaution, triceps with his arm. They don't want to take any chances with him there. They're just going to shut him down. He's going to miss a few starts there. Hopefully he'll be back and ready to go. Fourth, we got the Houston Astros, and they're still riding high off that 11-game win streak here, 27-15. Verlander obviously is a candidate for the Cy Young right now. Definitely comeback player of the year as well, with that 1.22 ERA, 49 Ks, and I think it's 45 innings pitched or something like that. He's been great. Michael Brantley has been the leader of the Astros this year, and he's really filled in for Correa's absence, in the lineup. And so is Jeremy Pena as well, the rookie playing shortstop for, Correa's replacement. He's been great. You can't really complain about that at all. Third, we got the New York Mets, and they're already running away with this NL East. They're 8 games up, but typical Mets fans look away. You might choke it away again. With Scherzer on the IL, DeGrom, who knows when he's going to be back, but the hitting, I think, is what's kept this team afloat. Pete Alonso's going off right now. 10 home runs, 37 RBIs. Jeff McNeil doing great. Francisco Lindor, when he can hit, he can turn it on, that's for sure. So this Mets team is still a scary team. Right now, we got to give them that respect. At 2, moving up 1, we got the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer hearing is underway started today. So hopefully we'll get some news on that. And they're 7-1 in their last 8. So we got to move them up at least a little bit, show them some love. And this Dodgers team, I really don't see them dropping out of the top 5 at all this year, unless, something were to happen to this team. And at 1, going to be the second time the Yankees have been here. 10-4 in their last 14 speaks for it. They've got on a hot streak and rode with it. I know they just lost 2 to the White Sox, and, that's half their losses here in the last 14 games. But they got a 5-game lead on Tampa for the AL East. It's early, but 5 games in the AL East is a lot, considering how good that division is. And Stanton and Judge are finally putting up numbers together and being very consistent, hitting the ball hard, not wanting to pitch to them. And that's why this Yankees team is so good. But that's going to be it for the video today. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Once again, we're doing that giveaway at 500. So you got to be subscribed to that channel to be entered for it. But until the next time, Bench Buddies are out.